Waldo, David Tuckman here for 88 Poker. It's Magic Monday, folks. That's right.
Oh, here we go. Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, look at these hands.
Kings are good. We are heads up. The double elimination. I love double KOs. Whoa.
No, he calls, and it's going to be over.
I've got a keyword giveaway, Nick.
This is for another $109 ticket.
We're going to go with Madrid.
Type Madrid in chat. Type it. Wants to win.
There's a ticket. Oh, Banfield had a big one.
Oh,
Banfield.
The Jillians.
Oh, wow. What a run out. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Magic Monday. Yes, I'm aware it's a Tuesday, but the show is Magic Monday, okay? We don't just rebrand because it's on a Tuesday. Oh, but welcome. I'm David Tuckman, Nick Welthall alongside me, and we are here courtesy of PokerNews and, of course, 888 Poker. It is the main event, and it's a big one, Nick.
It is a big one. It's a huge one. 300K guaranteed one. Yeah, very big money. Nearly $23,000 up top, and some well-known names on the final table. So
yeah,
this is exciting.
I was about to say, actually, and we've got a really exciting news because we have a third person who's going to be joining us in the booth today. You know him, you love him. He's joined us in the past before for some of these Poker News events. Nick, I want to welcome in Robin Poker as our third commentator today. Robin, thank you so much for joining us.
It's embarrassing. You've got the old version of the script.
What?
Well, Robin Poker is actually playing on the final table.
What?
The lengths he will go to get out of commentating with us.
That's
huge.
I mean, you realize we often say that when we invite people to commentate. We go, hey, commentate on this, please, with us. And they go, well, I'm playing the event. And I go, okay, sure. Listen, if you make the final table, then we'll just, don't do it. You're not supposed to actually make the final table, Robin. Oh, my gosh. He didn't get the memo. You're not supposed to actually make the final table. Well done, Robin Poker. Congratulations, buddy. Now, congratulations to him. That is amazing. And you mentioned other big names. And we have some other really, really big names, by the way, at this one as well, right?
Yeah, Kaizen style, aka Leo Jakura, member of the 88 stream team.
Yeah, we also have Jasa Taco, who's another streamer, aka Peaky Collins. So three, pretty big names, three streamers, obviously, on our final table among our final eight here. And they're all going for first place, which is nearly $23,000. A lot of these players have also locked up significant amounts when it comes to the bounties. Kaizen style, as you mentioned, Leo Jakura, has locked up nearly $8,000 in bounties already.
And no Robin Poker to bring you the action, but two commentators who are rated in the top 11 in the world.
Yes. Global Poker Awards. The Global Poker Awards were just done this weekend. Jeff Platt won the Best On-Air Talent. And the four finalists for the award this year were Joseph Stapleton, Ali Najad, Nick Schulman, and Jeff Stapleton, and Stapleton, and I'm sorry, Platt, of course. Normally they go 6 deep, and 5 and 6 were you and I.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah. They didn't want to make the show longer than it is already, so they cut it down to 4. But it was, and I think, Nick, I don't want to boost your ego any more than it is, but I think you were 5 and I was 6.
In the world?
Yeah, in the world.
I will take it. I've never been that high in the world at anything. That's not true, actually. There's a game called Resogun on the PS4, and I was 3rd in the world on one of the stages on Resogun. So
can you tell us all about that now?
Well, I just did.
Oh, that's good. Okay. By the way, the fact I don't want to diminish Global Poker Awards. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great way to kind of celebrate everybody's accomplishments. But I will say that. Yeah, and I've been nominated before, by the way, for Best Commentator, and I'm always very honored by it. But it does somewhat feel like when I go to my local burger shop and the burger's like, voted Best Burger, or like, world famous burgers, and I'm like, I don't think so. If I go to Italy, I'm pretty sure nobody knows this fucking burger place exists.
It's true. But then you Americans do that with your sport, don't you?
Right?
You world champs, you.
In fairness, there are some sports that are like, I mean, hockey, it has kind of become the world sport. I mean, since we do bring in players from all over Europe, Russia, Canada.
No, and you are the best. You are the best at the sports you've invented. It's just funny that you actually spell it out.
Right.
World
Fair
champions
enough.
of basketball. Okay.
Yeah, I am the world champion of playing with this little white fuzzball. Okay, try to beat me. Yeah, you can't do it, can you? Nick Welton, whole David Tuckman here. We're feeling spicy. I missed last week's show, so I've got a lot of energy. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat.
did.
Of course, our amazing moderator, Lime Ricky.
You were ill. Are you well?
I am well. I had walking pneumonia, apparently. So you can walk and pneumone at the same time. I did a lot of moaning. And this week I have commentating pneumonia, apparently.
Commentating pneumonia.
Yeah, you and I talked briefly before the show, and I'm just going to come out and say it. I had some expectations in December for 2025. They have, so far, 2025 has failed to live up to these expectations. Just going to come out and say it.
It's been a poor year for Tuck. A poor year for Tuck so far.
I am cautiously optimistic that March through December is going to absolutely bang, though. I feel like it has to. Okay, so final 8 players. Nick, all of them guaranteed $2,800, pardon me, plus, of course, the bounties. Kerr D, our chip leader, with $2,800. Robin Poker, surprisingly, came into this final table third in chips. Pretty unlucky on the bounty front, as they've only locked up $130 in bounties. Fairs Ace has locked up 0. Not one. They have not eliminated one player to make it to the final table.
That's quite freakish, actually.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to do. 3-bet from Kaizen Style. And we've seen Kaizen Style play at these final tables before. You can watch him play on his stream. He's an 888 poker streamer, but very experienced player. He's not going to be phased by the stakes or anything like that, is he, David?
I can't imagine, he's obviously does this for a living. And, when you do it for a living, this is just another day. Obviously it's a special day to make a final table, and a special day certainly to be on our stream. But, for them, it's just work. This is what they do. They put the hours in, they punch the clock, and they're certainly not going to be phased whatsoever. You shouldn't be phased either by our free roll, because it's free, and it's coming up in 22 minutes. The password for it is 888-IT-MUFT. Or 888-ITMFT in the money final table.
I get it.
I guess.
In the money muffed. Is that it?
I'll go with it.
Good to see you all in chat. Well done for finding us on a Tuesday. Lovely to have your company. Hi, Jedamonis. Hi, Boxwaxer, New Frost Mage, Dordoni. Good to see you all. Super Zero is in the chat. Welcome along on a Tuesday. It's still good.
Yeah, no, it's great. In fairness, it actually was good for me. It got me an extra day to. I have slightly
the full Tuckman.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have a slightly less percentage chance of going into a coughing fit during this,
that's good.
2-hour broadcast, which is what we're going for.
Were you coughing?
Anti-cough picks.
I hate coughing.
It's awful. Yeah, it's just the worst.
Coughing
I'm actually feeling much better, but from what I've been told and from what I can kind of feel, I feel like I'm going to be feeling great, and this cough's going to be here for a month. It's like one of those. But I will live on. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the well wishes. We got a straight for our man, Kurd, or Kurd D, either way you want to call it. By the way, we've got giveaways, Nick. It's the traditional, just boring ho-hum, $7 $109 tickets, folks. $7 $109
tickets. Huge.
I don't quite understand it, though, because I feel like every year, we talk to 888 about, contract, and they talk about budgets getting cut, and everybody, Lime, myself, Hayden, we all take these massive pay cuts because we love the job, and we do it for the love. And yet, the prizes and the giveaways just get larger and larger.
I mean, I don't understand any of what you just said, but yeah, the prizes just get larger and larger because we're making loads of money.
Right.
Somehow.
Well, yeah. Well, they are, and good for you. I'm really happy for all of you at home.
I think the priority is to give away a lot of tickets. That is the main priority for us.
Yes. Let us know, by the way, if we've given you a ticket recently and you've been able to do wonders with that ticket. Let us know. We love to hear success stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Several players have won 4 or even 5-figure scores with the tickets, and it could be you. It really could. 7 chances to win tonight, which is good.
Shout out to our good friends, by the way, David Lappin and Dara Carney. Their podcast, The Chip Race, won for the 3rd time yesterday. But I did get an amazing message from David Lappin about a month ago because he actually voted for 888 Ride. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, no, I love it. I think it's great. So thank you, David, and congratulations.
Where could you vote for it? What are you talking about now?
Select people in the industry, like me, David Lappin, important people get to vote for these awards. I'm assuming
really?
yours
is that how you feel? Is that how you fill your time, you people?
You people, yeah. I'm assuming you probably got asked too. It was probably just in your junk mail.
No one would involve me in anything of an organized or judgmental nature, David. I'm blocked on many austere poker lists.
Fair enough.
I take pride being. See, the whole reason to get into poker is, it's anti-establishment, is it? It's rebellion. I don't want to be in committees.
Yeah, no, and award shows are very much. I know the Oscars are coming up, and I'm pretty anti-award shows. I like the Grammys because they actually put on the show. They put on music during the show, but I hate award shows. I think they're just terrible for the most part. That said, speaking of 888 Ride, right before I was sick, got to record one with the one and only Poker Hall of Famer Maria Ho.
Oh, cool.
She is the first 3-time 888 Ride guest, and we had a great conversation about her family, her very tough upbringing with her mom, and her relationship with her sisters. A really great conversation. You should look for that coming up on the 888 YouTube channel. And I had one scheduled with Lucky Chewy that I had to postpone because I was sick, but that'll happen probably sometime in March.
Unlucky Chewy.
Yes. Well, he was. Lucky that I didn't get him sick. How's that?
All in and a call, David, on the poker table.
Could get some chops here. No, the queen plays. Both players with aces and sevens. Queen does play, and we get an elimination.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable shot by Tyrion in the big blind.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Tyrion has had his last glass of wine. He is out in 8th place. If you don't know the reference, well then, sorry, I'm not going to go through 8 seasons of Game of Thrones for you. Tyrion, by the way, picked up about $400 in bounties plus $2,800, so up a little bit over $3,200 for their 8th place finish. We're down to 7. By the way, I could totally be wrong there. That person's name just could have been Tyrion.
Could have been their actual name.
Right.
Could have not been anything to do. And imagine, you're cruising through life. You've got a really cool, unusual name. Nobody else has called it. And then suddenly this show comes out. Everyone goes, oh, it's Game of Thrones. No, it's just my actual name. It's my actual name.
Right. They're like 35 years old. You think I changed my name 9 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Because the show doesn't make any sense.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you in chat. Joe Tramus, good to see you. The Crazy Scotsman, how are you? Kayseri, nice to see you all. We'll have some giveaways for you quite soon, relatively soon, in a bit.
Another all in here.
Yeah,
Ace King versus 9-7. No 9, no 7, no straight. The Ace King does hold.
Yeah, Ferrez getting dealt a better hand than their stack deserves with just 6 big blinds, but 6 or 7 big blinds they had. So a lifeline. They get it dealt again. How'd you do that?
Yeah, it's a good trick. But now they're now deep enough that they actually have a raising stack as opposed to just a shoving stack. And I'd like to see, especially on the button, a raise here. Simple raise. You really want to induce a little bit of something. Again, Ferres, ace, the only player at this final table without a bounty, has not eliminated a player yet. Robin Poker's going to make the call. Both players will get a little bit of something here. I'm not a big fan of slow playing, but I might even check this back once. Okay, small little bet. I don't mind it at all. Robin Poker's is probably like, oh man, I'm just getting sucked along here. This is terrible. But they're gonna take the bait. Pretty easy, just call here if you're Ferre.
Yeah, incredibly unlikely that the fourth ace is out, obviously. So Robin Poker probably has not much. And it's just a tactically paired board.
And frankly, if Robin Poker did have an ace in the big blind, they probably would have moved all in pre-flop. You know what I mean? I think, based on Ferre's short stack. Robin's going to keep firing here. And I guess if you're Ferris, just keep calling. I mean, you're never folding. Oh, gosh, what a run out. I mean, I guess... I mean, this is just gross.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for Robin Poker because it's actually quite a significant pot. Ferris was short stack, but actually Robin Poker's going to lose, well over half their stack.
Yeah, that's just an absolutely gross spot. Wow. Maybe Robin Poker will be joining us for commentary after all.
Yeah. Maybe they can jump in.
I'm sure they'll like that.
We've enjoyed having him on the show before. He's a very good guy and well worth a follow if you want to watch some poker.
He always has immaculate
impressive
hair.
To make the final table of his own main event, of PokerNews' own main event. That's got to be good for your rep at PokerNews Towers.
Yeah. No doubt about it. And suddenly, Ferris ace now on 30 big blinds. Robin Poker now, one of our shorter stacks. And they could be in trouble here. Now, if no goes at this one, maybe the eights fold. Is there a world where the eights get out of there now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Fold, yeah.
Well, and now you're actually in pretty good shape with sevens, right? No, not anymore. Oh, no.
Out.
Needs a 4 or 7. Not going to happen. A 6 of clubs, and just like that. Really a tough run out. I mean, you hit the deuce, then you hit another deuce. You double up the short stack, and then you pick up a pair versus ace-queen, and you lose the race. When you find yourself out, and look at this. Wow.
Wow.
That's
a
my.
huge bounty.
No T picked up $12,000 bounty.
Crazy.
Oh my! So they now have $15,000 in bounties. Really unlucky for Robin Poker. I like him a lot. I think he's a really he's a good commentator. He's a great streamer and obviously a very good poker player. He always has immaculate hair.
Beautifully lit, usually.
Yeah, it's I genuinely like the guy.
He's a Liverpool fan. He's a great guy. We put his stream in Twitch. Make sure you in the chat. Make sure you follow him if you haven't already. Just two hands where there's nothing you could do really.
Yeah, I mean he probably didn't need to escalate the pot with the deuce. I mean, I'm gonna just play devil's advocate. I'm gonna do a Monday morning quarterback thing, where I'm just looking at it in hindsight.
The whole cards thing.
Yeah, but it's also just a situation where like. Why do I need to bloat this pot up?
Yeah, but he's never putting in that much money if the final deuce doesn't come, is he?
I understand, but why not just check call the flop?
I guess because the guy put in like a stupid fiddly little bet and he wants to take the initiative. I don't know. It's just like, how often does he actually have an ace there on the button? Almost never. I think it's pretty unlucky.
Yeah. Well, either way, Robin Poker He came into this final table third in chips. This is very disappointing for them. They'll earn themselves with the bounties about $3,900, as they did not lock up a ton of bounties going into this final table, and they were eliminated right away. They did have a huge bounty on their head, though, $12,000 over to Nanoti.
Chat, what would you do with a $12,000 bounty? Not if you had it on your head, if you won it. I'm asking what you do with a $12,000 payday. I want to know. Me, I'd buy a chateau and move to France and never work again, but I'm interested to know what chat would do.
I mean, what would you do with the rest of it then?
I'd probably buy a small boulangerie on the outskirts of the town where the chateau was. Just not to make money, just to have, something to keep me busy, I think.
I think that's a great idea.
Lower grass would spend it on hookers and drugs. If you're spending it on hookers, are you going back to the 1970s? They don't have them anymore. A poker event, F-Jack, you take your $12,000 payday and you put it on a poker event, you crazy bugger. Several people would play the World Series of Poker Main. That's fair enough.
I would buy a yacht.
The guy gets paying off his mortgage. Nice. David would buy a yacht. Where would you put your yacht?
I think northwest, the Italian Riviera. Northwest Italy.
Ooh, lovely.
Maybe like right off like San Remo area.
Yeah. How often are you going to see that boat?
I don't need to see it. Well, somebody can take it. I'd have a friend there. I could just send me a picture every once in a while.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, if you don't know, by the way, I'm not in my house yet, so I might as well go there.
Yeah, you might as well go on your boat. Now you've won.
Right. Open-ended here for Nanoti, who's everything's going their way right now. Eliminating players, picking up big bounties. And they're open-ended here. If a queen comes off, that could be particularly spicy. It's not a queen, it's the ace of diamonds. And that's certainly going to favor Ferrez's range. They're the one who should have a lot more aces in their range. I like a bet here. Try to put some pressure on a pair of fives, pair of eights. And they are going to go 4 big blinds.
Yeah, it is the classic bluff the ace on the turn kind of bet. And we can see it's probably not going to work. I don't know. Let's find out.
I mean, Nanoti's not getting a great price. I mean, you're out of position. It's 4 big blinds to win 9.
Yeah, it was just such an obvious barrel. It was interesting. Anyway, never mind.
Right.
On we go.
I do know some players who do play backwards in the sense of, it's such an obvious barrel, so you do it. And a lot of players actually check it when they hit the ace. They're like, oh, now I get showdown value. I don't need to bet.
Right.
If you don't bet when you make it, then it's really obvious that you're just making that play. Whoa. I'm sure this is fine, but it feels very big.
Well, it is big. And also, Ferrez, it's just like playing Ferrez's stack because they've got 2 shorter stacks, but
it's a 25 big blind shove.
It's a big shove.
I mean, I'm sure like under 20, it's totally fine. I don't have my push shove charts in front of me, so I don't know. Somebody can let me know. There's the call though. Look at this.
Call with ace jack.
Oh no, there's a king. Another jack, but a hard draw.
What a run!
Wow, that was a roller coaster ride.
Hey, whatever money Ferrez wins in this tournament, they'll look back at that call. That was a ballsy call. That's not easy with ace jack when there's 2 shorter bluffs.
Yeah, I am really intrigued. Like I said, I don't have like the push shove chart. I know it's probably a profitable shove. And
I mean, it's small blind into big blind, and you've got 3 times their effective stack, so it's going to be absolutely fine. But the thing is, calling with ace jack is the bigger question. Like that's the one that I'm not sure about. I don't know if you call there or not. You definitely, you have the best hand again. You've got a hand that's way better than their range, obviously. But you've also got the 2 shorter stacks.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot on both sides. I mean, it's certainly one you could think about. Like, shoving 25 big blinds with king 7. it's a pretty big risk reward, but you've got a hand that plays pretty well. You are blocking your opponent from having ace king, king king, hands like that. If you get ace jack to fold, which I think a lot of players do fold that, it's obviously hugely profitable. And then obviously on the flip side of that, should ace jack be calling? Cool spot, any way you look at it. Battle of the Jacks here. Free roll, by the way, starts in 5 minutes, everybody. We're giving away $500 in cold hard cash. You probably heard that we're also giving away 7 $109 tickets. You do the math, and you realize we are giving away over $1,200 in value just by like watching the show and playing poker and having fun.
Wow.
The password, by the way, is 888-ITMFT. Once again, 888-ITMFT. Noob Frost Mage can confirm that it's a good password. Oh yeah, like it works. I thought he meant like it's a good password, like he likes it.
We'll pass those thanks on to the password development team. They love to hear. They love to hear that. They love to hear that people enjoyed it.
No doubt about it. I mentioned Pocket Kings a couple of moments ago. Speaking of them, Nody's got them. What a last 20 minutes for Ferris. I mean, ace king, yeah, really. Ace king. Yeah, it picks up ace king, doubles up, picks up ace king. Not only, gets action, but gets a full double up. And by the way, how many players with ace king on 15 big blinds on the button would just shove all in and not get any action? They ended up getting a double out of that.
6 big blinds at one point.
Yeah, they were literally down to 6. You're right.
Fair play to them making the call with ace jack. I don't know if it's technically correct or not, because that's quite a weird spot. You don't often face a 25 big blind all in with ace jack, but it's hard to pull the trigger in that spot, even though you're probably ahead.
You know what? It worked, so it was the right play.
It worked, so it was good. Exactly. Free roll's going to start in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Make sure you're in. Tell us how you get on. 888 Poker TV. Special streaming free roll on the site. The password is 888 ITMFT.
Noob Frost Mage has confirmed that is a good password. Go get it. Battle of the Kings.
Nice.
That was a battle of the streamers, by the way. Peaky Collins and Kaizen Style. Neither player had anything.
Because they were getting pretty short. That keeps them head above water.
Yeah, 18 big blinds. This is probably just a fold. Because you've got to realize that, I like the fold there. I think it's just disciplined. You've got to realize that your opponent on 6.5 big blinds is just unlikely to fold much. Unless that's a leak in their game, and you know it. And, you really don't want to risk a third of your stack with 7 high. We're down to 6. We've already had a huge bounty. $12,000 one go to Ninoti in the bottom of your screen. Robin Poker, who's joined us a few times in commentary, great streamer for PokerNews, joined the final table, but got pretty unlucky in subsequent hands and found himself out the door in 7th.
Yeah, Ferris flops nothing. So this one's going to be short.
Farrah's now in second place in chips. I know he's done a good job kind of getting some of those chips back. And they're going to stay aggressive with a pair on the button.
Yeah, I expect Kaisenstyle to defend here, even though it's pretty weak. No, they don't. That's really interesting. I was going to say it's probably quite near the bottom of their range off this stack, but actually, no good.
No good. No soup for you. Nick, I know obviously you're not a big hockey fan, but
I'm a huge hockey fan. What is it again?
Well, it's like soccer.
Yeah.
But instead of 11 aside, it's 6 aside. Instead of a pitch, it's on ice, and instead of a ball, it's a puck.
Instead of a ball you can see, it's a dot on the screen.
It's a little black puck, little 6-ounce little black puck. Did you catch any of the very exciting Four Nations tournament though?
No.
No. Okay.
Does anyone in chat want to talk to David about hockey? Because he just wants to talk about hockey.
Will somebody be my friend, please?
I don't want to talk about it because I don't even know what it is. All I know is, in all my lifetime, they haven't solved the make the puck more visible on TV problem.
It's a black puck on white ice.
Yeah, well, it's not that visible though.
I mean, if you look for it, it is.
Yeah, but you're
it's not like.
Fan. Oh, Canada won. Massive victory for the 51st state. That's awesome.
I'm sure they love hearing that.
Don't kill me. It was a joke. I wouldn't have said it if it wasn't a joke. It's obviously a joke. Canada rocked.
And it's not as if anything got political or anything. There were 3 fights between the U.S. team and the Canadian team in the first 9 seconds of their game.
Were there really?
Yes, the Canadians booed the national anthem. The game was in Montreal. The Canadians booed the U.S. national anthem, and then there were 3 fights within the first 9 seconds of their game.
Brilliant.
Nothing like some animosity with you and your friendly neighbor.
You can
imagine getting mad at a Canadian. Canadians are so polite. It's like getting mad at a golden retriever.
Well, they are polite, but they're also awesome. Canadians are awesome.
Of course they are. I love Canada.
Everybody loves Canada. Sankovsky is down to 2.9 big blinds. That is not very many.
No, it's not. It is. And the question is, can they come back here? Can they battle back? Nanoti's done a really good job of kind of pulling away, despite losing that hand, the King 7 versus Ace Jack. They have kind of taken firm grasp again, and Ferris is now down to about 30 big blinds. We could get action here. In fact, this is actually a really nice all-in. And Peaky Collins should be folding this. I don't think they will, but they should be. Because of ICM, and look at this, unless a 10 comes on the river, they're going to be gone. That is not a 10, my friend. 6 of hearts on the river, and Peaky Collins out. Again, maybe 10s are too strong, and maybe I overspoke that.
I also think because it's only one shorter stack, and then
why not just move all in then?
So wide. I mean, I prefer them going all in, you know.
Or maybe they just. I mean, Pete Collins obviously a very good poker player. Maybe 10s are like 8s and 9s get moved all in, and maybe 10s are just too strong a hand. You want the action, and they just got unlucky. And I'm being results oriented. That's certainly fair. And anyway, you cut it though. Peaky Collins gone in 6th place. They will take home $5,000 via the prize money, and then an additional $1,200. That is Peaky Collins, a.k.a. Yasutaka. They won their last final table on the 20th, so just 5 days ago, where they finished first in an early big shot. But here, they ended up taking home about $6,200. Not bad.
Sankovsky does end up going all in and does get the double up. So the first step in the miraculous comeback is complete.
It's really quite impressive.
Should we give away some tickets, David Tuckman? Should we make some dreams come true?
I think so. I mean, listen, you're the mayor. I defer to you in this regard.
I have a question sponsored by Lime. Do you have a question?
I have one for you.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. You can ask me more. Yours.
Okay. Well, we've still got one of the players that's relevant to this question left, so we better do it now before it loses relevance. We'll see this all in. And
ace 10
and
holds.
also 2 doubles.
Unbelievable. The 10 does play a lot of chop outs there. Obviously, a 7 would have been the end of him, but look at this. Sank is now up to 12 big blinds, and we've seen our two shorter stacks double up multiple times, and they're still in it with just 5 remaining. Anyway, let's give away a ticket. Rules are very simple, everybody. You can only answer once. That's the main one. Now, you are eligible to join us on YouTube or here, but you can't answer one per chat. It's one time only, and don't worry, Lima's on it, okay? And she rules the chat with an iron fist. Her ruling stands.
Correct.
Whoever's closest to my answer, you got to climb inside my head. Google will not help you. Okay, whoever's closest to what I think will win, and we're going to give away 2 tickets here, I assume, right, Nick?
We're giving away 2 tickets. They're $109 tickets to play on 888, so huge prizes. You could play in a really big tournament with one of those bad boys. So, David, this is going to test your knowledge of Magic Mondays.
Oh,
I know that you encyclopedically journal every show with your reflections and your takeaways and learnings.
yes, of course.
And interesting points from that show. I know that. Since we started Magic Mondays, on this feature table, we've got Kaizen Style, who's one of our streamers, and we've got Robin Poker, who's affiliated with PokerNews and has been on the show. How many players of that kind, either stream team members, 888 ambassadors, or people that have commentated, have been on final tables? Have been on final tables on Magic Monday or Magic Tuesday since we started? How many players have made final tables that are affiliated with 888 or the show? Let's do appearances, by the way. Let's do appearances, right? Good luck, players. You've got until Lime closes the contest.
Yeah, my answer's in.
David Tupman's answer's in. You can play on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, but you can't have 2 guesses.
One guess. I mean, it's the simplest rule in the world. I mean, you don't need to know anything. You don't really need to know anything. I mean, obviously, if you watch the show and you're familiar with the way my brain and Nick's brain work, because we do genuinely try to get these right. You'll have an advantage. But the only way you can't win is if you answer more than once, because then you're eliminated.
Exactly.
And it's not funny. Nobody's like, oh, hey, remember when that guy answered 3 times? That was hilarious. Nah, it's not. It's not funny.
It's not funny. And you've also brought shame on you and your family and your town. So don't do that.
You don't want to do that. And then Nodi just continues to stay aggressive, keep their foot on the pedal. And look at that. They get the better hand to fold. Strong play. No is like, I imagine, I'm gonna use it. How about a basketball reference? I am now thinking that No is like the late great basketball player Dikembe Mutombo, who used to wag his finger at people because he was like 7'4", and he's one of the greatest shot blockers of all time in the NBA in basketball.
And statistically, his finger that he would wag was 1 foot 7 inches. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised. But I feel like every time somebody raises, Noti wags there, goes no, and waves their finger and goes, get that out of there. Get that out of here. Dikembe, by the way, has done commercials and everything. He has passed away, so he's no longer doing commercials. But
no, extremely strange coffin because they had to put an extension for the finger. It's quite weird. But yeah, a great player, a great life, a great finger. Sorry, Naki, the question is how many appearances have there been by 888 Stream Team members or ambassadors or commentators on the final table of Magic Monday since we started? That is the question. And I think you still haven't won a ticket, have you, Soranaki? And the only reason I remember you is because you complain so much. And you haven't even entered in time till the contest is closed, and I feel really bad.
By the way, that's the other part of it. You could only answer once, and you've got to enter it on time. I mean, this shouldn't really take too much. I don't put that much thought into it. You shouldn't.
Soranaki, I still believe in you, even though you didn't actually enter the contest there. I still believe. Not this contest, but soon.
We have 5 more $109 tickets to give away after this. 2 of them will be the show with the Wheel of Justice spin. I'm replicating a spinning wheel, by the way. But you
still don't have a siren, do you?
No. I think I told you the whole process. We had a company come in and take all of our stuff out of the house to be cleaned. Well, either out of the house to be thrown away or to be cleaned. And the siren has been taken away to be cleaned. It's silly.
You just know that Molly slips the guy a 50.
Oh, yeah, it's gone. It's 100%. That's never coming back. Yeah. Like, my wife was like, this can't be cleaned, right? And the guy's like, oh, no, it should be fine. It's mechanical.
Lose it.
Right. And the guy just doesn't get it at first. He's like, no, it's simple. Look, like, it works fine. No, it doesn't. Okay. It is kind of bizarre, by the way, because my house is now literally empty, as if you just like moved into a new flat. It's crazy.
Sankowski was down to whatever they were down to. What were they down to? 2.9 big blinds.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Sankowski was down to 2.9, 2.6, something like that. Ferris was down to 6 big blinds. And they're both still in here with 5 players left. And again, I mean, those were Sankowski was 8th out of 8. Ferris was 7th out of 8. And in both cases, by the way, neither player has picked up many bounties. Sankowski has picked up $390 in bounties. Ferris, none. So these ladder jumps are huge for them.
Yeah, really. They're big ladder jumps. If you're just joining us, this is bigger than our usual final table. This is a 300K event, PokerNews main event, $215 buy-in. So first prize here is $22,700. That is some pretty sick prize money.
Yeah, it's really impressive. We've had a few really big tournaments as of late, so it's always fun to get the big boys on the show. The online championship, $300,000 main event. What was the buy-in was $215. Mm-hmm. We had 1,530 total players, 180 of which made the money. By the way, a lot going on our channel this week. We have Blast Off this Wednesday, featuring Komodo Dragon Jesus, facing off against the very manly Josh Manley Poker in a Canada versus UK brawl. What is up with Canada? They want to fight everybody now? Takeover Thursday is Madrid champion Ian Simpson. Tune in as he takes on the 8-a-day poker tournaments of the day.
Very, very good. Should we give away some tickets?
Yes, we should.
So I asked you in a question sponsored by Lime, how many 888 streamers, ambassadors, or commentators? Oh, we got an on the call.
We do. Queen 7 versus Ace 8. I think the Ace 8's going to win. They are.
Yeah. Kaizenstyle with a big double up, huge for them. They are one of our stream team members, but how many appearances have there been by those stream team members and ambassadors and co-commentators since we started Magic Mondays on our feature tables, David Tuckman? What is your answer? Well, how did you come up with it?
Well, I mean, I know how long, obviously, we've been doing the show since COVID, and you and I come punch the clock in each every Monday, occasionally on a Tuesday. Early on, by the way, our stream team members and our ambassadors were, shall I say, lackluster, except for, of course, Vivian Saliba. So it's basically just Vivian Saliba. Every 3 months, we would get her on a show, right? Mm-hmm. But we've upped our game, and our stream team members and our ambassadors have upped their game, and they've gotten much better over the last 18 months or so. And I actually knew that we were at 28 before today. And then I added these 3. I put Peaky Collins in because I thought they were significant. So 31.
31, David Tuckman, is the exact right answer to the question, how many stream team members, ambassadors, and co-commentators does David Tuckman think have been on our feature table since we started Magic Monday? Well done to you, sir. And well done to Buicki, who nailed it with 31. You get a $109 ticket. And Doc Matouche, who was just one away with 32. Well played, Bookie and Dortmund 2 sure winners. If you're not one of those players, don't worry, because there are 5 more $109 tickets that are going to be given away before the end of the show. Ace Queen is all in. Kerr, who we haven't heard much from at this feature table, is going to be doing something here. Just calling.
Wow. Setting a trap?
Maybe.
I'm not sure if I want to say in a bounty tournament. I don't know why I wouldn't want to isolate.
Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer. It doesn't end up mattering.
No, there are some chop outs here.
Oh,
That's
there
one of
it
them.
is.
There you go. I was going to say a 5 chops it, a 3 chops it, an ace chops it. And we continue on. Ferris will not go away.
No, they won't.
Will not go quietly into the night.
No, no, they won't. They've been down to 5 big blinds before, so clearly no fear.
Yeah, the remaining 5 players, by the way, are all guaranteed $6,600 plus whatever they've already locked up in bounties. And if you're Nanoti, you've already locked up $15,000. Yes, $15,000 in bounties.
It's crazy, isn't it? For knocking people out.
Yep. Robin Poker, a disappointing final table for him, no doubt. You know, it's one of those you just kind of, it's so many things have to go your way to make these final tables and have a really big chance at good money. And it can all go awry so quickly. Sometimes wrapping your head around the whole tournament thing can really be tough, I think. It's like, okay, that went well, and this did well, and this did great, and this did great. I feel like sometimes it's almost like golf. Like, okay, I got a great drive. Oh, what a great second shot. Now I get my approach shot. And then suddenly I miss a putt, but I miss it by like 3 feet. It goes down the hill, and, you know, I turn to par into like a triple bogey because of one bad shot. It feels like that sometimes in poker.
I really feel like my golf has been seen there. Kaisenstyle, this is interesting. Kaisenstyle calls out the small blind. So we could, I mean, Kerr can absolutely shove. Yeah, and they do. And that's some risk-free profit right there.
Yeah, good play by Kurd. Free roll has begun. Registration is still open, and it will be for about 20 minutes, we'll say. Password, once again, very simple, 888-IT-MFT. 888-IT-MFT. Get in there now. We're giving away $500 in cash, plus you get to play poker for fun. And depending on how long we go on, we might even give you a shout-out.
Yeah, make sure you play the free roll. Always play the free roll. It's free and it's poker.
Pedro says it's like playing golf while people are throwing fish and donkeys at you.
Better than what I used to do, which is like play golf while throwing my clubs at myself.
Yeah. I did it once, by the way. I remember playing golf, but we've got an all-in here. We're going to get a call. Obviously, Ferris, by the way, is actually at risk. Oh, there's a jack. Another jack. Oh, wow.
Brutal. Well, they had a roller coaster of a final table, didn't they?
They really did. And Sinkovsky, by the way, now up to down to 4 players left. They're up to 15 big blinds. And you can't imagine that they would have ever picked up a bounty, and yet they do. An extra $130 in their pocket. Ferris, by the way, never got the bounty, but does ladder up to 5th place. So takes home $6,600. And we're down to 4.
These 4 have got $9,000 locked up. Big tournament, this one. We're going to give away another ticket, David Tuckman.
Before the break?
Before the break.
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to keep the giveaway momentum going.
Okay, let's do it.
Might tell you something about the length of the final table as well. We're going to do a keyword giveaway. All you have to do is type the keyword in chat once it's been revealed. Lime is the keyword ready. Just a confirmation.
It's always ready
for you.
It's always
ready. In honor of our sponsors of this event, this is the Online Championship 300K main event in association with PokerNews. It says here, in the middle of the table on your screen. The keyword is PokerNews. Type POKERNews.
Yes. Make sure you get the ooze in there.
If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to play, you've got to come over to our Twitch channel, to 888 Poker TV Twitch, just for this contest because it's software dependent. But type Poker News and you're entered. Good luck. Are you entering, David Tuckman?
I'm not.
Okay.
So I feel like I might win this
competition for you out there.
Yeah, I feel like I might win this one. And since we're headed toward a break, I don't want to make Lon do it again right before the break.
Because you were so going to win it.
I feel like today was the one.
I see. Well, that's very considerate of you.
Yeah, and let's be honest, I've won this before.
Twice.
Yeah, thank you. The first time I won it was truly one of the happiest days of my life.
You were absolutely delighted. You were elated.
I mean, I think of the happiest days of my life, and I'm like, okay, well, the day I was born, really fun. That was a good day. Sure. I like that one. The birth of my first child.
Well, you've missed out loads of good stuff in between those two, but yeah.
Yeah, some I can't talk about here, though.
Sure.
My marriage.
There you go.
So I would put it between, it's between my marriage and the birth of my second child.
In terms of level of happiness, winning the keyword giveaway. Very good.
Yeah, it's right in there. Nobody tell my second child,
the clip is in Twitch chat if you'd like to watch it. Well done, Lime. Excellent.
She's so on the spot. Like, how does she have it ready?
Wow, she's a machine.
Really, she is. I mean, it's not even like we rehearsed this show. It's not like we have a script. She doesn't know where we're going, or maybe she does. Maybe she knows us better than we think.
Right, exactly.
She's amazing.
If she was allowed to enter, she'd win What Did Nick and David Think every week. Probably.
Lime, of course, our favorite Canadian. She's originally lives in She was originally from Calgary. Lives in Costa Rica now, though. She wanted to go south, but decided to skip over the United States. Probably smart. Good job.
Yeah, good call.
Look at Kurt coming back.
Lime? Are we going to run this giveaway? I feel like we need to run it. I want to find a winner.
So patience, my friend, patience.
No, we're doing it.
Okay, do it.
Here we go. Somebody's going to win a $109 ticket. This is huge. The winner is Krupinka 123.
My favorite thing is that when you read the giveaway, and sometimes it almost sounds like you have a stroke every time.
Well, I do get excited. Well, it's not the usual form of letters, is it? Krupinka. I don't know anyone called Krupinka in my private life, but I'm happy to know this one. OMG, they say. Yes, OMG indeed. It is you. It is real. Enjoy your $109 tournament. It'll be a lot of fun. You might win a ton of money.
You might. You just might.
Kerr getting lively with the ace out of the small blind.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Kerr has not had a ton of chips throughout this final table. After the start, they came in as a chip leader, but kind of relinquished that pretty early on. But has done a great job of, just kind of staying aggressive throughout, even despite the fact they lost trips. It's not going to work here. And let's see if Minoti wants to trap or just kind of get the chips in as they can. And they are going to go for it.
Yeah, and Kerr will quietly slip away simply because there's two shorter stacks, even if they think, obviously we can see Minotti's got the bullets, but they could have anything there. There's just nothing Kerr can do.
Yeah, the remaining four players, by the way, guaranteed $9,000. $7,600 difference between fourth and second. And the Noti, by the way, we've seen this before. Not necessarily from the Noti, but they have seemingly had over 50 big blinds the entire final table, which is not easy.
No, it's true. No, they gathered them early and have been pretty much in cruise mode.
We could get an all-in here, depending on how aggressive Nanotti wants to get. I think ace 10 probably goes in. Ace 9 is right on the cusp.
Ace 9 suited, four-handed, I think.
It's 16 bigs. Yeah, they're going to let it go.
Wow. I'm slightly surprised.
Yeah, I think it's close. But this one is going to go in, though. We'll get a raise. And depending on how it's played out. Wow, just all in. Forget about it. I've got sevens. You can beat me. You can beat me. Curd can't call this. I mean, I guess they can. It would be
seems unlikely.
Bad. Yeah, it wouldn't be good. You just don't want to get yourself in a flip right now. I mean, the thing is that sometimes you do assume your opponent's got smaller pairs, and maybe you are dominating your opponent occasionally. Ace king versus sevens. An ace, a king, or a queen, and now a 10 as well. It is a queen and a straight. Broadway gets there.
Sankowski is difficult to kill, man. They've ridden that short stack for the entire final table.
Yeah, and they make it to the first break, and they'll make it back. We have 4 players remaining in the Poker News main event here on 888 Poker. Join us in 10. That doesn't make sense.
Hey guys, I'm Ian Simpson, and today I am super excited to announce that 888 Poker will now have a HUD or heads-up display built into our software. Whenever you're seated at the table, you'll be able to hover over your opponent's avatar or your own and get some vital statistics about them. You'll be able to see their VPIP, their PFR, their 3-bet, and where they're from. So how do we put this information to work? Let's say you've opened and the button 3-bets. Well, you can hover over your opponent's avatar and see their 3-bet statistic. And here we can see that it's only 4. Now that's actually really small. You can go ahead and safely fold your marginal hand, knowing that they're only 3-betting a very narrow range and they likely have a much better hand than yours. In this scenario, our opponent has a PFR, short for pre-flop raise, of just 10%. That means they're playing a very narrow selection of hands. That means we have to be a little more cautious when dealing with them, as we are likely facing a very strong hand. Jumping over to this spot on the final table of a tournament, we can hover our mouse over our opponent's avatar and see their tournament winnings. We can see this player only has $114 worth of winnings, whereas this player has $140,000 worth of tournament winnings. Now, this doesn't tell the whole picture, but it is indicative of how much experience our opponents have. And finally, in this scenario, we can see our opponent has a VPIP, which stands for voluntarily put in pot, of 40%. Now, that number is really high. Our opponent is playing far too many hands. So when we raise pre-flop, they call, and we get this flop, we can bluff a lot more liberally. That's because our opponent is going to have far too many weaker hands that are just going to have to automatically fold to our bet. As you can see, having access to this information can be a real game changer. It can be a big help when making the decisions you're going to have to make at the tables. Give it a try for yourself. Let me know what you think. Tell me which stack you think is the most helpful. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our great content. Thanks for watching, and good luck at the tables.
If you've ever struggled to calculate your equity or pot odds in a hand, you likely need to brush up on your poker math skills. That doesn't mean you need to be a genius or make complex calculations, but learning some fundamental calculations will give you an edge over your opponents. I'm Aaron Baroni, and in this video, I'm going to share 5 poker math principles you should know. Rule of 4 and 2. One of the most important poker math calculations is knowing how to figure out your equity in a hand. This is where the rule of 4 and 2 comes into play. All you need to do is calculate how many outs you have, then multiply your outs by 4 on the flop or 2 on the turn. The number you get is the approximate percentage of making your hand. So in this example, if we flop a flush draw, we would multiply our 9 outs by 4, giving us roughly 36% chance of making our hand. If the turn is a blank, our percentage drops to roughly 18%. This simple calculation alone can give you an edge by helping you avoid spots where you are a huge dog. Pot odds. Many players don't understand pot odds and fall into the trap of wanting to be right at too high of a frequency. Let's break it down with an example. Imagine the pot is 100 and your opponent bets 100. It costs you 100 to call, making the total pot 200. In this situation, you're getting 2-to-1 odds. That means you only need to be right 1 out of 3 times, or 33% of the time, to break even. But here's the exciting part. If you're right even half the time, you're not just breaking even, you're making profit. Understanding pot odds can significantly improve your decision making and profitability at the table. Understanding blockers. A blocker refers to having a card in your hand that makes it statistically less likely for your opponent to have a strong hand. For example, having a hand like pocket tens on Queen Jack 9-5-3 board would drastically reduce the number of combinations of straights our opponent could have, because we're holding 2 tens, and the only way they can make a straight is by holding one of the final 2 tens in the deck along with a king or an 8. Holding 1 10 would decrease your opponent's potential straights by 25%, and holding 2 would make that number 50%. With our opponent having 50% less straights, we then expect our full equity to go up considerably, and therefore could look to apply pressure. Be aware, our opponent could still have other strong hands, such as a set or 2 pair. Bankroll management. People ask me all the time about how many buy-ins are needed to be sure you won't need to reload. The exact answer to that question is fairly complex, not only because it relies on your edge, but because tournament poker can have so much variance, even over large samples. Let's look at an example of a 1,000-player tournament with a standard payout structure, $10 ABI, 10% ROI simulated for a 5,000 game sample. In that example, half the field would have been fine with a 2,000 bankroll or 200 buy-ins. But that means half the field was not. 15% needed a $5,000 bankroll or 500 buy-ins. 5% needed 7,700 bank.
We are back. That's right. Magic Monday on a Tuesday. It is the Poker News Online Championship brought to you by 8-A-Day Poker. Nick Welthall, David Tuckman here calling the action. We're down to 4, and the blinds have moved up, and the Noti is finally below 50 big blinds. But that just means his opponents are also getting relatively short. We don't have that many chips on the table, Nick.
No, anyone can hurt anybody else at this point. So you've got to be a little bit careful opening pots. We will see how that goes down. Will Kaizen style shove here? Is the question du jour?
Yes. Ace-9 just so far ahead of your opponent's range at that point. I think you have to shove. And considering the fact that Kaizen style, there was no other stack that's like way shorter than them. You just have to take those opportunities when they come to you. And Kaizen style obviously has been here before, certainly knows what to do. That is Leo Jakura, the last remaining streamer. We had 3 at the start of this table. By the way, free roll is going on right now. Registration about 5 minutes away till it ends. You can still get in there, though. And the password for that is 888-IT-MFT. 888-IT-MFT. Play the free roll, everybody. We also have 4. Yeah, we have 4 more $109 tickets to give away. 2 during our show, and then 2 at the end of the show with the Wheel of Justice spin. If you don't know what that is, well, stick around. You'll want to watch. You don't want to miss this.
People are saying it's the best wheel since the invention of the wheel.
Yeah, I've actually heard people say this is why the wheel was invented.
Yeah, finally, having wheels has paid off, is what I heard one person say.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
Yeah. Yeah. The world famous wheel, the best wheel in the town.
It's really good.
And it was until then.
Yeah, jokes got tired. Honestly, this is nuts. Let's move off that. What's happening here, David Tuckman? Sankovsky is really trying not to die in this tournament. They've ridden the short stack for most of this final table.
Yeah.
Probably going to pick this one up as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure I love this bet, but it's obviously fine. I mean, you've got the ace of hearts in your hand, so you can kind of represent if another heart comes off. It's just a flop that's going to connect with your opponent some of the time. Like, it's hard for your opponent to have nothing here.
When you bet here, make sure your opponent has 6-5 offsuit.
It's just like, 10-9-7, when you don't connect with that, think of how many hands your opponent has that completely miss. And it's just not very often. I think it's okay to check that one back. But, you give the ace queen credit. Their bet actually got it done. Hello, Noodaloo. Hello, Apollo 18. Hello, everybody. Thanks for spending your Tuesday with us.
Absolutely.
As Nick said earlier, thanks for finding us here on a Tuesday. I know sometimes it can be tricky. We are back, by the way, next Monday, our normal scheduled time. By the way, I got our dates for Barcelona, which is I'm pretty excited about.
You did?
I did.
Is it in May by any chance?
It is in May.
Lovely.
And it's right smack in the middle of May. Does that help?
Yes, does help.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I believe it'll be like May 14th to like May 19th.
Sounds good. I'm in. Count me in. Count me in for another Barcelona adventure.
Yeah, I've already put it in my calendar. I am in like Flynn. Is there any meaning behind the in like Flynn, except besides the fact that it just rhymes?
I believe it's probably rude.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't actually know, but I believe it probably will be.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it was invented by Irish maritimers in the 1800s.
Lime Ricky says it refers to the actor Errol Flynn. Darrell Donnie says Errol Flynn did get it in a lot.
Just a very aggressive
Bougie.
player.
Bougie. Saying Errol Flynn was a busy man. Yeah, okay, fair enough. This is all. I can neither confirm nor deny any of these things, but I really appreciate.
A legendary swordsman of a bygone age, David Tuckman.
Yes, Errol Flynn. Rest in peace.
Rest in exhaustion, quietly.
Yep. Ooh, this is an interesting spot. Oh man, ace-9 with 22 big blinds. Look at that, the aggressive play from the Noti.
Yeah, that's maybe the third time the Noti 3-bet Kerr's button open, and with 3 20 big blind stacks and like big money jumps, there's just nothing they can do there. The difference between fourth and second is about $7,000, so it's quite a lot to just punt away on ace-9 and hope for the best, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, I mean, we've seen it before, even when you're good, oftentimes your opponent's has 44% equity. So it's just one of those spots like, do you want to take that 56-44? And sometimes you are crushed and you're obviously way behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different now. A lot of times in tournaments, you should be taking spots when they come up, but it does change when you get down to the final four. I mean, you're dealing with huge. I mean, this is a $200 buy-in tournament. And
we might get an all-in here.
$3,000 between fourth and third. So the jumps are huge at this point.
I thought we might see an all-in from the Noti and then a call. We'll see how this one plays out. This likely goes raise and then a fold, but now we'll see.
Yeah, I think Kerr has a pretty easy shove here. Even with stacks. I understand that the Noti's the chip leader, but ultimately they're opening, I don't know, 70% on the button or something.
And frankly, they should be.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the sizing, though.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't just shove here.
Yeah, do you really want to call? Oh, wow. And I guess you do induce this. There's the call. Ace-10 versus ace-deuce. A lot of chop outs here.
Many chops.
Yeah, but it is going to chop here. Aces and queens, both players the jack kicker. Chop it up. And the dynamic at this final table is quite interesting because you've got the chip leader, and then everybody else is basically at the same thing. But as you pointed out, over a $7,000 difference between second and fourth.
Yeah.
So it does make a lot of sense to kind of let your opponents battle and see if you can ladder up.
Yeah, you're very disincentivized to play here.
Yeah, just to put this in perspective, the difference between fourth and second would be like playing this entire tournament again and finishing in fifth place.
Right.
That's a ton here. Ace-king versus ace-10, yep. Only a jack is going to save Kaizenstyle, and that, unfortunately, is not a jack. Kaizenstyle gone in fourth place.
Leo. Well played. Great run in the tournament. That's Leo Jakura, our stream team member. Follow them.
He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, really entertaining.
He must have 5 or 6 appearances on Magic Mondays.
Well, Viv has 6. You were right there. This was actually his 6th as well. Kaizenstyle is 6th. Ian Simpson's been on 3 times. and I went through it. That's how I got to 31. But yeah, Leo's been on a lot. It's really quite impressive.
Very, very strong made-up knowledge, David Tillman. Very, very strong.
Listen, I have a Rolodex full of this stuff. Okay, we're down to 3, by the way. And Nenoti has picked up many more bounties. They now have a $15,500 in bounties.
Wait a minute, $15,500 in bounty revenue.
Yeah, and they're already guaranteed.
Tournament. That's amazing.
Yeah, and the remaining 3 players are all guaranteed $12,000. So you do the math and you realize that Nenoti is guaranteed somewhere in the range of $28,000 and maybe more.
That's pretty sick, isn't it?
That's they can wag.
Pretty good day at the office.
Yeah, they can wag their finger all they want. Kaizen Style, by the way, came to the final table 5th in chips. They had picked up $8,000 in bounties, so don't cry for them. Add that to the $9,000 payday, and they made about $17,000. Leo, nice day.
Yeah, another good run for them. Very impressive. Very, very consistently up there.
Maybe with the $17,000, they'll buy you a French chalet.
I would really appreciate that, if I'm honest, because I've been wanting one for a little while. That would be kind. Look at Nanoti's VPIP, by the way. It's like 63% VPIP.
Wow. Like, look at this, 21, 25, 63. Don't try that at home, kids.
A lot of hands. Yeah, don't try this at home is right.
The old 63 VPIP, it works when it works. And when it works, it's really, really fun.
Yeah, you get a lot of chips, for sure.
Hey, Nick, did you see I know you're not a big Twitter guy, but did you see there was a World Series of Poker circuit event where with 65 players left, some grown man had a temper tantrum.
Oh, I saw that, yeah. Jesus.
Did the crab walk and flipped over 3 tables.
Seek help. How can you get that pissed off at a poker tournament?
Benny, can you imagine being that selfish that you're like, I'm not having fun. So for the remaining 65 of you, yeah, you're not having fun either now.
Today's over for everyone.
I mean, poor Matt Savage is like, can you imagine him going, that has to be like the worst. We might get an all in here.
I don't think so. How can they call?
Because King Queen actually dominates a lot of what your opponent might have. I'll be opposite. I'm sooner calling with King Queen than I am like Ace 7.
Yeah, but why do you want to call off? Like,
no, I know.
There's $10,000 between third and first, and $4,500 between third and second.
Yeah, maybe it's. I don't know. I think it's closer than you think.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about what I think they're going to do. I'm not talking about whether it's technically correct. I just think with an 18 big blind stack sitting there, they're not calling the King Queen.
And look at the strength of that. I mean, you can get King Queen to fold.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, Noti's not going to slow down here because it's working. They might move in every hand and just say, until you call me, I don't care.
Well, and as both players dwindle down, it probably makes sense. I mean, now they can barely hurt them. It also helps that they keep picking up aces or big pairs.
Yeah, why wouldn't they get jacks? Why wouldn't that happen? Because Stankowski should move in here, even though they've got 9-7, but they're not going. Oh wow, how did they slit the noose?
Yeah, it's a $4,000. I mean, it's a $4,000 difference. You pointed it out.
Yeah, huge difference, huge jumps, big tournament. Great to have PokerStars in association for this. PokerStars? Who are they? Wash my mouth out. PokerNews. Association with this one.
Hayden, if you can edit that out, that would be awesome.
Edit it. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing I've ever done. I hate those guys.
Yeah. Remember that time where we almost missed the end of the final table in London because we were watching football instead? This was worse.
Don't say that. That wasn't worse. Also, I'm on record as hating PokerStars, and I refuse to work for them. So my conscience is clear.
That's right. You know what? No. I say that, Nanoti. That's right. I'm with you. Look at Nodi just pulling away. Pretty impressive. Nodi, by the way, came to this final table second in chips. Their last first place was just was back on the 7th, so just about 3 weeks ago. Top pair here. By the way, what a performance by Sankovsky.
Sankovsky short stacked the entire final table.
They were down to under 3 big blinds.
Yeah, 2.8 big blinds.
Unbelievable. They've actually eliminated a player. Oh no. This is just an all-in if you're Sankovsky. You're going, listen, you got me beat. You got me beat. I'm not folding top pair. There's no world where I'm folding top pair. And I'm also just getting it in.
Yeah, I think all in the check raise is absolutely fine because, you know, as long as you're never folding, it's probably better.
Kurdi now gives up. Sankovsky, deny your opponent the equity. They have you beat, so be it. And look at this, Sankovsky now at 19 big blinds.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool if they were to win this tournament. You've rarely seen a short stack grinded so hard for so long.
I did just see something on Twitter as well. I saw somebody came back from like a 30-1 chip deficit to win a World Series of Poker circuit event, which is always pretty cool. Unless, of course, you're the one who has a chip lead heads up.
Yeah,
it's cool for everybody but that guy.
Yeah. It's no limit hold'em though. It happens, right?
I still remember, honestly, the first bracelet that Justin Bonomo had won many years ago. I was commentating on it, and you knew he was one of the stars in poker, and he wanted a bracelet so badly. And I still remember he had it was like I kid you not, it was like a 100-1 chip lead. It was just a foregone conclusion that he was going to win, and it was like the first 6 double ups were just all in. Like neither player even looked at their hand. And the short stack won 6 in a row. And they got to the point where Justin was only a 3-1 chip lead before he finally won it. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. You saw the anguish on his face. It was crazy.
Kurd here is down to 6 big blinds after that check raise bluff that didn't work. And they turbo folded king on the button. Don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, if I thought my opponent was getting involved a lot, I might fold the king, thinking, okay, well, maybe I can ladder up the second. But I think I'm just getting it in here. Ace 10 now. Yep. Oh, they got a lot to fade, though. Straight outs. Oh, and they do. They hit the ace on the river. They didn't need it. And Kurd up to 12.5 big blinds, and we continue on 3 ways. Nick, am I supposed to ask you a question?
For tickets?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Why don't we do that?
I wasn't... I mean, I was waiting for you.
Oh, yeah, we're fine. What are you worried about?
We're fine. Oh, I'm not worried at all. Just asking. Just put it out there.
Relax. It'll be fine. We'll do it.
Totally relaxed.
We'll win. It'll be amazing.
Okay, you let me know when.
I'll thank the wrong poker site and we'll all go home happy. It'll be brilliant. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to do our second giveaway. We've got $209 tickets still left in the old back pocket. And then we've got 2 more on the Wheel of Justice. But for starters, we'll do what does Nick think? David's going to ask me a refresher of the rules. Not necessary at this point. Just know that you can only answer once. You can play on YouTube, but you can only answer once on either YouTube or Twitch. Lime rules the contest. Her word is final. Lots of luck. What's the question, David?
Okay, well, since you said that you saw the incident that happened where the grown man had a temper tantrum and flipped 3 tables over. There were 65 players left in a tournament, and this man crab crawled during a live tournament and flipped over 3 full tables. They were 10-handed each, by the way, at this point, I believe. So chips everywhere, and the tournament director had to go in there, dealers, clean them up. What I want to ask you is a very simple question. You can only answer once, folks. How long in minutes, how long did it take for the tournament director to sort that out and restart that tournament? How long
Do you
did
know
it
the
take?
actual real? Do you know the real world answer? Oh wow! All in.
Of course I do. All in. Oh, look at this! Another double up. Another double up.
Yeah, they're right back in it. Down 6 big blinds and right back in it. So how long in minutes, right?
How long in minutes did it take for that tournament, the tournament director, and obviously his staff, to sort out that mess? Right? I mean, you can imagine, getting everybody their chips back, trying to figure out how many chips each person had. You've got to look at the cameras, everything.
It makes a massive difference whether there's film or not. Because
they have cameras. They always have cameras.
Well, they don't always, because it depends. If it's in a casino, they do.
It was in a casino. I'll give you that, Neil. It was in a casino, and they had cameras.
Oh, okay, fine. Because there's plenty of poker events where they wouldn't.
Right.
Both players have 8s here. Okay, so they had cameras. I'm putting the tables back together, picking up all the chips. Okay, lovely. Now I've got to go and get the camera footage. I've got to go through the camera footage. I've got to write down all the chip counts. Then I've got to pull the chip counts out. So
Nick is thinking about it while we watch our chip leader turn 2 pair. Queen 8, by the way, was already the best hand. Sankovsky might feel compelled to go with this. We'll see. I mean, this is almost half of their stack if they call. Well, it's a pretty wet board. I mean, you got a pair. Flopping a pair is hard.
Yeah, 3-handed in the blinds, wide ranges before the flop. So Sankovsky just trying to decide whether to go with this or not.
Yeah, I mean, I may let it go.
Don't. Yeah, I'm slightly surprised as well. Against an aggressive chili. Obviously, we can see it's the right decision, but...
Yeah. Well, they found the hand they're probably going to go with here. Ace-10. Not sure they get any action, though. Nope, they don't. And Sankovsky will not go away. Well, I wasn't sure up in the note he was going to fold any buttons, but we did finally find a hand that they do fold, 3-deuce.
Yeah, Sankovsky's got low enough where they don't want to play a 9 big blind pot with 3-deuce and just double them up.
Ooh, gut shot here for Kurdi. Sankovsky maybe being a little bit too safe. King 4 suited, probably a good enough hand just to go with. Take it down pre. Ooh, ace queen. I might limp here instead of trap. Such a strong hand. Obviously, shoving is fine as well.
Yeah, especially with Nossi being so aggressive, I think you absolutely could limp that.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing you can do wrong there is fold it.
Yeah, you can't fold it post-flop either, no matter what comes, I don't think, with 8 big blinds when you've given them 100% of hands. But, yeah, I think limping would have been fine. Get your guesses in. How long did it take them to reset the tournament after the idiot with a tiny penis and a underdeveloped frontal lobe flipped
and by
up
the way,
that's tables?
I just want to be clear that is not Nick projecting or, really anything even outlandish. Afterwards,
I'm not projecting. I've never flipped up a table.
No. I was comment the small penis comment.
Yeah, I've never flipped up a table. Hence, inversely correlated.
Ah, there you go. Right. Oh, there you go. Just wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that our audience knew. Okay.
Yeah. The contest is closed, as is my career, for about 4 different transgressions during this one stream.
Hey, as long as you get the beginning of the show good and the end of the show good, it's fine.
I was on the on-air talent long list. I can't possibly be fired. I'm fine.
Nah, you're fine.
Too big to be fired.
Too big to fail.
Too big to fail.
Kurdi on the button with king queen.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Yes. I think that's the only. I can't think of another reason for that level of frustration. Why do people even get that upset when they lose at poker? It's ridiculous. Like,
We've seen. I mean, obviously, you and I have seen it so many times.
it's just so embarrassing. Like to get
noti.
upset when you lose at poker. I mean, like you put your money down. If the cards had gone your way, you'd have happily taken the winnings. So how can you get that upset when you lose? It's just pathetic.
I mean, I can understand. Look at this, and Kurdi going to move all in. It's a nice little pickup for them.
Nice timing.
Yeah, it's a really nice pickup. They're up to 28 big blinds. Bad news for Sankovsky. I understand getting frustrated at yourself if you've made a mistake, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, when you get frustrated at other players or get frustrated at the dealer or get so frustrated that you want to flip 3 tables over and ruin everybody else's day, that
person should be named and shamed. They should just be publicly embarrassed.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that person
Helmuth. Yeah, well, quite.
I mean, that person has truly brought shame to their name and their town and their family. I mean, I'd just be so embarrassed. Like, imagine that was your dad. You'd be like, oh, God, what are you doing?
Imagine if that was your dad. That'd be really embarrassing.
Open-ended here for Sankovsky. Got backdoor diamonds as well. And they're just going to go with it. Strong play.
It was more than good enough for 4 big blinds. And they are not going to go anywhere. Sankovsky, the short stack hero.
No, they are battling. This should probably go all in and a call. Certainly an all in, maybe not a call, but we'll see how it plays out. Yep, there's the all in. Noti I'll give Noti a lot of credit. They're quite aggressive, but they're very hesitant to just give their opponent free double ups. And obviously that kind of, I know you're like, yeah, duh, Tuck. Obviously, why would he want to give free double ups? I know a lot of players who are like, he's short enough, I'll gamble here. Noti has done a really good job of kind of preserving their big stack and their chip lead. Some players kind of get a little bit hasty and they want to end the tournament. We could get action here. Yeah, there's the all in. Kurd does not want to flip, but I don't know how you fold ace king.
He's going to sit on the sideline here, David.
Oh, this is brilliant for them. 0-3s are still in the lead. Oh, no, my gosh. Noti with the full house eliminates Kurdi. What an incredible turn of events. Kurdi certainly did not want to flip with ace-king, but ace-king just too much hand to fold. And they find themselves out in 3rd place. Noti picks up another bounty. And we are heads up. Sankovsky, who was down to 2.9 big blinds, is heads up.
You cannot find a more different final table experience than these two players have had. It's impossible. Like, you've had the big stack bully, who's been shoving everyone around, has had chips the entire way, and Sankovsky, who at one point had 2.8 big blinds when I think we were 5-handed, and has almost never had more than 20 big blinds. Most of the time had this kind of stack. Incredible.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Noti, by the way, has already locked up about $16,000 in bounties. Both these players have locked up $16,000 plus for 2nd place. They're playing for an additional $6,000 plus the last 2 bounties.
Some short stack love in the chat. Mo Shark says Sankovsky, what a boss. Jenna says Sankovsky loves those ladders. Lime calls him the real legend. It's true. Never say die.
It's really amazing. Yeah, I mean, Sankovsky, coming into this final table as a short stack, had only locked up $300 in bounties. What their expectations for this final table were basically $3,100. That was their expectation going in. Anything more than that was, cherry on the top, gravy. They have now basically locked up at least $17,000. That's incredible.
Amazing. Yeah, huge haul. $215 buy-in tournament.
Yeah.
What a return.
And nothing for either player here. 9 high is the best hand.
Yeah, and obviously, to state the obvious, Sankovsky has so little room for maneuver. They're either going with the hand or they're not going with the hand. So until they get more chips, we're not going to see a lot of complex decisions.
Well, this is either a limp shove or a shove. And they decide to just move it all in. And this has kind of been a situation where I know a lot of players are like, whatever, it's 7 big blinds, I'll call. Let's see if I can end it. The Noti has done a really good job of kind of keeping their thumb on their opponent and just not giving away those free chips. You're going to have to earn them. This should be another shove from Sankovsky.
This may not be a long match if unless Sankovsky can get some chips, but it is a valuable one. This is a $6,000 heads-up match, David.
Yeah. Plus the last 2 bounties. The winner does get to keep their own. Wow. I just think that's a shove. You have an ace.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not a hand that plays well post flop. It's just like you're not going to like a lot of flops.
Yeah, like here, how can you possibly know if you're ahead or behind? It's actually, I don't care if you're Phil Ivey, it's actually impossible to know if you're ahead or behind here.
But it's you just make the game a lot easier for yourself. Your opponent checked. Okay. I've got an ace. I mean, honestly, any ace, any king, I've got 7 big blinds. And now you're just kind of left in this no man's land where you're thinking, well, is ace high good?
Because it's actually a tight fold because you have an ace heads up. You got some outs as well, but there you go.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a situation where the game is easier just by just kind of moving all in. Another situation, it's an easy all in with the king high. King 7. There's a call with the queen, and that's a good flop for king 7. But hold on. Good. Oh, I thought, are we going to get running?
Nothing dirty.
I mean, imagine losing that when you have king, jack, deuce with 2 clubs out there and somehow losing to runner.
So
but it does not happen.
Sankovsky needs to do that again. One more double up, and then we got a heads-up match.
Yeah. And they've got to do it before. They can't let themselves get back down to, just dwindle to 6.
Right.
They've got to make some sort of a move now that they're at, 9, 10, so they can get to that 18 big blind spot. And we could get the chips in here. Then we likely will.
Yeah, depends on the Noti, but probably they call.
I think so. Queen Jack's just too good a hand to let this one go. There's the call. And there's a jack.
Could be over.
This could be it. An 8. No, even on 8-8 poker, the 8 does not come. And that is it for Sankovsky. Noti, what a absolute dominating performance of this final table. They're going to win these final 2 bounties as well as the tournament. Another $130. And another 600.
Lovely. Cherry on top.
Yeah, so they add about they actually added about $13,000 in bounties to what they had already won. So all in, the Noti ends up winning about, I'm going to put the math in, 16,000. They won about $39,000. That's their payday. Sankovsky, by the way, came into this final table as last in chips. They ended up making about $17,000. So well done to both of our finalists. But congratulations to Noti for winning the championship here.
Absolutely. Didn't look like any other result, did it? At almost any point in the final table. I think they were always comfortable. So well played to them. And well played to you if you've won a ticket. But who are you? We don't know. David, what did you ask me?
I asked you about the incredible incident where a gentleman decided to flip over 3 tournament tables. So, approximately 27 to 30 players chips everywhere. How long did it take? What a nightmare. How long did it take the tournament staff to put it all back together?
It is a nightmare, again? But casino and tournament staff are amazing. And so to actually put the tables back up and gather up the chips, that's not that long. Somebody has to go to the surveillance room and write down all the stacks, right? That is the long bit. And then they've got to put them back on the table. So I reckon it probably takes about something like, I thought about 45, 50 minutes to get all the stacks, 30 stacks, 28 stacks, whatever it was, and get everyone to agree. In total, it took 72 minutes, David.
72 minutes is the exact right answer. It's amazing. Matt Savage thought it could be done in shorter time, but it took this staff 72 minutes. Well done to them, and well done to you if you said 72 minutes. In actuality, if you are Hamaleon 41K.
Nice.
They said exactly 71, and Work Life Hero somehow climbed inside your head and got 72 exactly.
Work Life Hero and Chameleon, very good reads. What was the Matt Savage claimed answer?
I think it took about 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe they have to get the players to agree, right?
Yeah, and I think it was like they had to really. It was just tough to find all the players. Like all the players kind of said about what they had, and then they went to the cameras and they checked each person. And I think at some point they just told the players, "Okay, go away. We'll figure this out and we'll come on back."
Cool.
But who cares about that? The actual answer is 72. Once again, you got it right, and they got it right. As always, if you win a ticket, make sure you pay attention to your whispers, so Lime Ricky can get a hold of you and get you your $109 ticket. Don't worry, the show isn't over yet. Actually, the best part of the show
is about to begin. David Tubman. It's about to begin. This is what everybody's here for. With the most crowded, fattest, dumbest poker wheel of justice I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses because they're at the house. They're in the fire. So
what? I mean, what are our chances of hitting someone that's actually watching the show right now? There's got to be about 40 to 1.
You know what though? Somehow we do it.
I don't know how many names we have. Like that's a crazy amount of names.
Over under 2 respins.
Over.
I'm gonna go under. I think there's 1 respin today. Go.
Okay.
Let's run it. Let's spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel of poker justice. See how fast the bastard turns. Let's find out who's been good this week. It only lands on good people. You must be in chat to win the prize.
It's a shorter person.
$109 ticket.
C422.
C422.
C422. Are you in the chat?
You must be in the chat to win.
Congratulations, C422. If you are in the chat and you just say hey or yes, then you just won $109 ticket. And there they are. Look at that. Well done.
David Tuchman's under is looking good. A hot start for the Wheel of Justice. Let's find out who's going to be our other winner. Respin the Wheel of Poker Justice.
Do it.
Look at that bitch fly.
Oh. Nick's on fire today. I love it.
I'm tacking near the wind.
Oh, it is our VIP. Are you kidding me? VIP Hammerly on 41K. Could they win back to back?
The only situation where you can win 2 tickets in a night. Chameleon's done it within 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the only way you can ever win 2 tickets on our show. And Hammerlian 41K has just done it. Well done.
What's the 3 minutes? Chameleon, when you think back over your entire life, have you ever had a better 3 minutes? Serious question. In your entire life, have you had a better 3 minutes? I don't believe you have.
That's what she said.
I just don't see. I don't see anyone topping that.
No. We know that for sure. Congratulations, Amalia, and congratulations, C422. Congratulations to all of you who have won. Those of you who are still in the free roll, go get it. Good luck to you. And a special congratulations, by the way, to Nanoti, who ends up winning nearly $40,000. And
amazing
of
stuff.
Course,
almost
the
as good
main
as
event.
Who's almost as good as Chameleon, who says, I've had 3 seconds that we can compare with that feeling. So we've actually extended their happiness. What a beautiful thing.
That is fantastic. Hey, for everybody here at 888 Poker, it is 888 Poker, everybody. For everybody here, for Lime Ricky, for our man Hayden, of course, for Nick Wealthall, I am David Tuchman. We'll see you next Monday for another Magic Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.